Welcome to the Rig on Wheels show featuring MVT. This is your first ever truck driving recruitment show. I am your host, Camille Gaines, the CEO of Rig on Wheels. And joining me, of course, is Robert Pearson. We call him Pearson. He is our favorite VP over at Missoula Valley. He's the VP of recruitment. So we are your ultimate destination for truck driver industry news, hot jobs, tips for recruiters and drivers. So let's definitely make history together. Pearson, you want to say something?
Yeah, good to be on with you today from Choo Choo Town here in Tennessee. Lots to discuss. Excited to be on with you like I am every single week.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad we virtual today because I got cooties. I'm fighting out where I'm recovering from the flu. I don't know if I got it from the plane coming from uh, Canada or if Kayla gave it to me when I was in Mansfield, but somebody gave me the flu, okay, some kind of way. So I'm recovering from that. So I'm glad we're virtual.
Do I need to mask up or am I safe? I think I'm okay from this distance.
Yes. And it's crazy that I catch everything because I take vitamins, supplements, and everything. My mother says, keep your supplements because you take everything and you forever catching something. So, whatever. But we're going to jump into some good stuff, some industry news. And I know you wanted to talk about this good old diesel going down a little bit.
Yeah, diesel's down approximately 7 cents, 7.2 cents to be exact. Currently sitting at 4.29 as a national average. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'll still take it. Fuel going down is a good thing. Fuel surcharge being a lagging indicator means we want to try and squeeze in as much freight into our week as quickly as we can do it safely and legally while still being cognizant of fuel economy. So that's at least exciting here from a fuel standpoint. And then a lot of the companies are starting to release their financials for quarter three. You'll see between trucking companies as well as OEMs and some of the other manufacturers that supply our industry, everybody's down about 50% in terms of net profit, or they're down 20, 30, 40% on total revenue. So it's going to be one of the things to watch here at this moment is look, your presidents, your CEOs, your leadership teams at any of the trucking companies you're at should be out and about hitting the pavement. So if you go into the office and you're at a company where you get to physically see your president and he's always sitting at his desk, that's not a good sign. He should be in the air. He should be boots on the ground. I can tell you that I know our CEO and COO, I can say we're at like 4 different customers last week, both current and new customers beating the pavement, because that's what you should be doing all the time. But in particular during this time, if you're at a carrier and you don't appear to have the freight levels that you need, your president's job is to get out there with the sales team and beat the pavement here to try and pick up some customers. And so, one of the things to be cognizant of when you're at a company and you don't see your presidents actively engaged in the sales part of this, that's a cause for alarm. You should be concerned by that. Obviously, you don't want to micromanage somebody's day, but that's one of the things that at least should instill confidence in you is when you see your leadership team out and about with potential customers. And so, yeah, a lot of down revenue right now across the board, as would be expected. The companies that ran tight operations are going to be okay. And those companies that weren't that cognizant of prices are now reeling. So you'll see a lot of companies in the dry van world that were paying company drivers 75, 80 cents a mile. They're not doing so well at this moment right now. We had 18 different pay increases last year, but we are also realistic. You have to run as a profitable business. If you don't, it's bad for you and the driver. And so you see a lot of companies right now being acquired or needing to be acquired, or quite frankly, going to go to scraps. And so though we're going into the fourth quarter, which generally offers a reprieve, this is going to last a while here. We're thinking 2024 is going to be a recession, so you want to be at a carrier that's financially stable. So it's one of the things as you talk to your recruiter, I wouldn't hesitate to ask that question on what kind of financial stability do you have? If this freight stunk for the next 12 to 18 months, would you guys be able to make it? Because knowing where to hitch your wagon to becomes very, very important.
I agree with that. And our next segment, I want to definitely dive into collaboration and teamwork because we, as an industry, and I'm not just talking about transportation or supply chain logistics, trucking, our niche industry, we talk and a lot about drivers and what they're willing to do. But I'm glad that you talked about the leadership. So whether it be the CEO, the COO, but also you are huge in leadership and you are always never on the ground, like ever. Like now you are in Chattanooga. You're never at your own house. So it's about leadership actually out there trying and making sure that you're meeting with customers, touching bases with all of your recruiting staff because you have recruiting staff in multiple locations. So making sure everybody is okay. So doing a collaboration and doing what it takes to keep MVT, doing what it takes to keep Rig on Wheels profitable. So everybody putting their hands in the cookie jar and making sure we stay afloat. So that's a big deal. It's not just the drivers that have to do everything because I think we spend a lot of time just focusing on what drivers have to do, but it takes all of us to run a trucking industry, not just truck drivers.
It does, and in particular, I will tell anybody that you want to see the leadership team being visible. So when things are going great, it's one thing to see your leadership team at any company, but when things are struggling and you're having to push forward and the industry's in a little bit of peril at this moment, you want to see the leadership team in particular addressing the drivers. So as an example, if you go to the YouTube page for Mesilla Valley Transportation, you will literally see a 50-minute video that has Royal Jones, our CEO, has George Chastain, my boss, our COO, Monica Fuller, our VP of Operations, and myself physically doing a town hall answering questions specifically that drivers sent in. You want to have that visibility right now because given the current environment, it's great when your leadership team is visible when things are going well because everyone likes to be Santa Claus. Everybody wants to be a hero. You want your leadership team to be very visible when things are going to be a sluggish, grind for the foreseeable future. And so, yeah, that's one of the big things is you want to have that relationship across the board. And as a driver in particular, you want to have your addresses and concerns, your concerns and needs addressed by your leadership team. So yeah, if anyone gets onto our YouTube page, definitely something to check out. That was done recently in the last month where we had about 900 different responses from drivers sent in to us. And we addressed a lot of them. We addressed all of them individually, but addressed a lot of them on a larger town hall scale. And that's something we're probably going to continue to do on a quarterly basis, given our activity from our driver base pretty much encourages that they want to see that.
I like that town hall questions. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's
yeah,
we probably should implement. I like
got a
that.
lot of got a lot of views, and in particular, though, if you're a driver, it's nice to have leadership. Quite frankly, care and want to address your concerns.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, let's go to a commercial, and then I do want to talk about how all the different positions within our agencies or companies can actually collaborate so we can like work together, be profitable, and push forward. Because 2024, according to different articles that I was sending you for you to be depressed, because that's what I think is fun. It 2024 is definitely going to be can be hard. But like you said before the show started, if you made it through 2023, you'll be fine.